The worst choke job of all time came from John Starks in the 1994 finals against the New York Knicks and the Houston Rockets. He shot 2 for 18 from the field and missed all 11 of his three-pointers. It's not the fact that he had a bad game. It's the fact that he had a bad game, Game 7 of the finals, when his team needed him the most. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Everybody Hates Dante. I'm your host, Dante. Thank you for joining me. And today, I got a great video planned for you guys. I'm going to be talking about the worst choke job of all time. Well, at least in my personal opinion. And I think that came from John Starks in the 1994 finals, Game 7. He was absolutely hot garbage, and he was not there when his team needed him the most. So before I get the video started, I just want to ask you guys, like, comment, and subscribe. Help your boy out. Let me set the scene for you guys. The year is 1994, and this is the first year of Michael Jordan's retirement from the NBA, and the throne was up for grabs. Being in the same conference as the Bulls, the Knicks took full advantage of this opportunity. They finished the season as the second seed in the Eastern Conference and found their way to the finals for the first time in 21 years. That New York Knicks team was the best defensive team that season in the NBA. They held opponents to 91 points a game and had a defensive rating of 98, which was absolutely amazing. Patrick Ewing would finish top 5 in MVP voting and would average 24.5 points, 11 rebounds, and blocking 2 shots a game. He had a great season and took care of business in the playoffs to get his team to the finals for the first time in his career. But in the Western Conference, Hakeem Olajuwon and the Houston Rockets would also be impressive. And they also finished that season as the second seed in the Western Conference. And they also had a phenomenal defensive season as well. Hakeem Olajuwon would win the MVP while averaging 27 points a game, 11 rebounds, over 1.5 steals a game while blocking over 3.5 shots a game. He was absolutely great that season. They took care of business in the regular season and they took care of business in the playoffs. And they will be matched up against the New York Knicks in the 1994 NBA Finals. Throughout the first 6 games of this series, the two teams would alternate wins. The Houston Rockets won game 1 by 7 points, but the New York Knicks won game 2 by 8 points. The Houston Rockets won game 3 by 4 points, but the New York Knicks won game 4 by 9 points. The New York Knicks will win game 5 by 7 points, and then Houston won game 6 to force a game 7 by 2 points. So the series was really back and forth up to this point. But you have to keep in mind, up to this point, John Starks had a pretty good series. He averaged 19 points a game, 3 rebounds, 8 assists, and he was taking 3 steals a game. So as the New York Knicks' second option, he was definitely doing his job. And those stats that I just mentioned were better than his stats in the regular season, and they were better than his stats in the previous 3 rounds in the playoffs. So John Starks was doing his thing. And as the team's second option, those are good stats. But what he did in Game 7 was just unforgivable. Game 7 started off with a back and forth between the both teams. John Starks committed 3 fouls in the first half and had to spend some time on the bench. He shot 1 for 6 in the first half with 4 points, but that was no big deal, right? Because he was Mr. Fourth Quarter. You feel me? He was Mr. Fourth Quarter for that team, so as long as they kept the game close, he was going to take him home. Well, that's what they thought. The third quarter was more of the same. And the guy that John Starks was guarding, Vernon Maxwell, he started to get hot in that third quarter. So you combine the fact that he wasn't hitting any of his shots, plus on defense he was letting his man cook him. Oh nah, this was a bad game for John Starks. This was a horrible game. So at the end of the third quarter, the Houston Rockets led by 3 points, 63-60. John Starks got some good shots, but he just was not knocking them down. They were good looks. They were really good looks. You know that shot, you feel me, where your man's close on you, but he's not close up on you, so you feel like you got enough room? He wasn't hitting them. He wasn't. During this series, the Knicks outscored the Rockets in every fourth quarter, and John Starks was a huge part of that. Games 4 and 5, he scored 11 points in the fourth quarter, but in Game 6, he scored 16 points in the fourth quarter. So for the New York Knicks, as long as it was close, they felt like John Starks was going to bring them home. But that's not what happened. My thing is, if your go-to guy isn't hitting shots, you have to go somewhere else. But that's not what they did. They were living by this man and they were dying by this man, which I don't understand. They tried to get him going. They set him screens. They made him a part of the offense, but he just was not hitting any shots. And when I say he was missing shots, he was missing them bad. You know that bad miss. You feel me? You think it feel good, but nah, that's side of the backboard. You feel me? That's not even hitting no rim. It was shots like that. But John Starks had a chance to redeem himself. With 31 seconds left and the Knicks down by 6 and a chance to cut the lead to 3 points, he got a shot off and he airballed that bad boy. John Starks shot 1 for 10 in the fourth quarter and finished the game shooting 2 for 18 and missing all 11 of his three-pointer attempts. That's a horrible way to go out. The Houston Rockets would go on to win Game 7 of that series and win their first championship in franchise history. So that's all I got. I feel like a lot of people don't really know anything about this game. Maybe it's the fact that it's almost 30 years old and maybe people just forgot. But whatever the case is, I'm here to talk about it. So if you're still here, thank you. In the comments, let me know, what do you think the worst choke job of all time is in basketball? Because I think it's this. So let me know in the comments, leave me a like, subscribe, and you feel me, help your boy out. So until next time, peace out, family.